Greetings and welcome to a Thursday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is September 4th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing great. I'm looking forward. I got a big weekend on tap. I'm going to be at Cypress Point taking in the Walker Cup. So it's not many weekends better than that.
Pretty good setup. You're driving down the coast from central to more central California, I suppose, to take in the Walker Cup. It's a 2-pod week here this week. We've got, Labor Day Monday, just crazy schedules. We want to jam. Honestly, not a lot of stuff happening in the golf world, which we'll get to in the schedule for the week.
For people to listen to this.
Well, we got a Jumbo Boy episode. We got some funny stuff coming on Ryder Cup. I know PJ's very excited.
Do our over-unders at some point,
NFL?
too. Yeah.
Over-unders? Let's do it Monday. Monday or Wednesday.
Well, it'll be after week one.
That's fine. I think that's good. Get a little field data in the field, and then you can do it.
Maybe PJ could cook some up by the end of the episode and have some over-unders.
Yeah, maybe we could do that. But yes, we'll get to that at some point before we get too deep into September. 2-episode week. You're headed down to Cypress. Heard it's looking good. I heard that deer droppings are a problem. Have become a real problem out there.
That's not the big problem. The big problem are the birds on the 17th tee. They all hang out on the rocks that extend out past 16 and 17, and they shit on the tee box, and it kills the grass. That's their big problem. The big problem, if you catch the wrong wind, it can smell horrendous out there too. That's the other thing. So I would say deer, no big deal. Birds out by 17T, that's a problem.
Did you see Luke Poulter had a hole-out eagle and a hole-in-one within his first 3 or 4 holes today, practice round, Thursday as of this recording? Which one do you find more impressive?
I'd say the hole-out eagle.
Noted anti-hole-in-one player, advocate. I'd say the hole-in-one at Cypress is a pretty good story. I think,
think about the hole-out eagle. Probably a lot less hole-out eagles than hole-in-ones. It's
a pretty good deal. I can't wait. That is an incredible event for this weekend, Saturday.
The hole-out eagle was on 1, right?
It had to be 1 or 2. I think because the ace was 3.
I think it was 1.
Okay.
And I would say there's been way less hole-out eagles on 1 than hole-in-ones on 3. So I think that's probably more impressive.
You're sticking to your guns. Let's do schedule for the week since we're a day late here. I think I know where you're going with your event of the week based on what we've discussed. But real quick, it's a very light week aside from the Walker Cup, which we got to get to Saturday once matches start. We have the Stiefel Charity Classic in Norwood Hills, St. Louis. The Champions Tour returns to St. Louis. So if you know that's first on the schedule for the week, it's a light week as we wait for Saturday. I have nothing to say about this event. 2.1 million defending champ Y.E. Yang, Angel Cabrera, Chad Campbell, Stu Sink, Ernie Els, Launer, Leonard, Toms, Y.E. Yang. That's it.
I've got stuff to say.
What do you have to say?
I just want to remind everybody, St. Louis, home to great golf fans. Great golf fans. They deserve more. Great golf fans. Major championships, everything. They just unfortunately don't have a course that can host them.
That seems like a pretty backhanded compliment to Bellerive.
Well, no, it's just in general. All you ever hear when you go to St. Louis about their fans, whether it's the Cardinals, whether it's just fans. Everybody needs to bow at the great fandom of St. Louis.
On the DP World, we almost said PJ almost went to that with the sponsor activation, but instead he's in Cincinnati taking in the Mets-Reds weekend series. Are the Reds still on your tail with the last spot, or is that separated now?
Giants.
The Giants
are barreling
the Giants
down.
Just jumped the Reds, so it's those two currently. They're they are a half game apart.
Where are the Cubs and Mets relative to each other in the wild card?
Cubs are way up.
Okay. Yeah, we have no chance.
Okay, all right.
Cubs are 5 games up in the wild card, or 4 games up over second place in the wild card.
Great sports weekend, right? September baseball, Novak and Alcaraz Friday night, NFL Thursday, Friday, CFB Saturday, NFL Sunday, Walker Cup Saturday, Sunday. Pretty good.
What do you think about Sergio bailing on the Euro event to play with Alcaraz?
I don't blame him. His quote, which got a lot of play, came off kind of cliche Sergio whiny. He said, the call with Luke was fine, but not the call I wanted, obviously. I felt like I was so looking forward to being a part of that team, and I felt like mentally it was kind of tough. So speaking of the Irish Open, I didn't want to go there and not be fully engaged in the tournament and stuff. So I just decided to take a little bit of time off and spend it with the family and do a couple of some things outside of golf, and just kind of reboot a little bit, recharge the batteries. I don't blame him. I don't blame him for going and playing with Alcaraz, watching the U.S. Open. In Sergio fashion, it probably could have been done with a little more suave and grace instead of committing and then saying it wasn't the call I wanted and then backing out. But go play with Carlos Alcaraz and watch your countrymen in a major championship, right? Are you of the similar mind, or you think should be castigated for this?
I mean, I'm just worried about Alcaraz.
Why?
I don't want Sergio getting any of his attitude. Alcaraz seems to have this youthful exuberance that we saw Sergio with at the PGA at Medina, but then as he aged, more and more incidents and more negativity kind of filtrated in. So,
yep.
I just don't want Alcaraz to learn from Sergio and be dressing down like a Wimbledon official when he knows he's going to the Saudi Arabian Tennis League in 5 years, saying, "Oh, I can't wait. This is the last I'll ever have to deal with you."
I mean, we got about 27 years of Sergio doing that kind of stuff, whether it was on any tour.
So,
if we're being honest.
So I have no opinion on Sergio doing it. I think, hey, like, you go play with like an icon of a sport. That's awesome. I'm more worried about Alcaraz. I might have a conversation about, hey, this guy's really good at golf, but you might want to avoid talking to him about how to handle your own PR.
The Alcaraz thing is, I've been rereading Robert Hunter Link's book this week with the Cypress thing. And like the foreword is all about, how golf was so popular, and then it like vanished, and then it came back again. It's like, and this is whatever, early 19th, 20th century. And like the Scots just keep the flicker aflame for centuries. It's like, you think about where it was when I was doing this like 10 years ago, it was like the most uncool thing ever. Like the worst. Like, this game is dead. You cannot cover this on digital media because that's where young people are. And this game is for losers and is old people and sucks. And it is still an older demo. But everywhere you look, everyone famous is playing golf, talking about golf, tweeting about golf. It's kind of insane. And I get that it's cyclical, the callback to the Hunter thing. And it's crazy. From Alcaraz doing it all day, LeBron tweeting about the Tour Championship. It's kind of it's an incredible moment for golf. I know some people are like, shrink the game right now because it is wildly popular, but I just didn't think I'd ever see it based on where I was covering this game 10 years ago. And that includes the U.S. Open semifinalist.
I think it's time to start to examine the culprit, the reason, not the culprit. Culprit has a negative connotation, but the reason for this popularity has got to be the years of growing the game. Years of growing the game programs. It's years of, these companies that get, hundreds of millions of dollars thrown at them, and they're just, their core ethos is growing the game. So that's what I think. That's what's happened here.
It's just bananas. It's always somebody like getting in on it, wanting to play or launching a new clothing brand. I mean, a lot of it's like that, but it has really spread like wildfire, and it's good. It's all by and large good. That's your Sergio interlude. I enjoyed that. He skipped it completely. Go ahead.
I imagine they may be carpooled to the course, and if you were looking to carpool to a course, you know what the best way to do it is?
Well, if you got your clubs, you got to be in that Mercedes-Benz
The
GLS.
GLS.
That's a great one. You think they're going to like, I'm just going to guess Winged Foot. I don't know. I'm throwing that out there. I don't know. Throwing that out there. Maybe they're on Long Island. Maybe they stay on Long Island. That probably makes more sense. But they were probably cruising around in an MB Mercedes-Benz GLS because that is the ultimate golfing buddies trip vehicle. They're the perfect companions for golf enthusiasts who need performance, style, and space on the way to the course. It stands out as the pinnacle of their SUVs, combines finesse and power, 12 driver assist systems, 12, nimble
Not
handling,
11,
not 11, not 13, all 12, cutting-edge AI technology, and superb craftsmanship. I wonder if they thought it would be like 13, and it's like, they just got boxed out by the lads club or the boys club, boxed out that 13th AI assist system.
I think that like in corporate America, it's taboo to even like do anything 13. I mean, like you go on a plane and there's no 13th row.
That's fair.
Like I think it's just that, which is pretty
elevators.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's just
like it is taboo to just have 13 in a corporate setting. So imagine if they had 13 and they're like, well, we have to scrap one of these driver assist systems because we just can't have 13.
The GLS anticipates your needs, ensuring every journey is as strategic as a championship-winning game plan. That could be for golf, could be for on the hard court in Flushing, or where is that? Queens, I guess, would be the tennis center. So go to learn more about the GLS and their full lineup at mbusa.com. All right, we hit on Sergio skipping it. Next in schedule for the week is the Amgen Irish Open. This is at the K Club, County Kildare, Ireland. Lowry, Rory, Patrick Reed are on attendance. We're, as of this recording, already had the first round concluded. This is 8 to 1 p.m. Coffee golf in the morning, 7:30 to 12:30 on the weekend. The Stiefel Charity Classic, if you care, and I don't think you do, is just in the afternoon, 3 to 6 on Saturday and Sunday. We'll talk more about the Irish Open in a second, but I want to get to the event of the week, the 50th playing of the Walker Cup. This is at Cypress Point Club. You may have heard.
I was going to go with the Stiefel Senior Tour event as event of the week until you preempted me there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess
I'll go with what you said.
Your move there. Sorry if I, implied. The 50th Walker Cup. This is now NBC published the wrong times for their own thing. This is on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, 26 points, I believe. So double sessions. Saturday, 12:30 to 3:30 on Peacock. Saturday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern on Golf Channel. And then the same on Sunday. So 12:30 to 3:30 on Peacock and 7 to 10 p.m. on Golf Channel. So you get two sessions of golf.
Cocktail golf on the East Coast.
I mean, would you rather watch Chris Collinsworth or Cypress Point Sunday night on Golf Channel? Mike, I'll tell you. Like that, you could be watching SNF. It's a great.
I'll tell you what, Cypress Point.
This guy, this 16th hole, Mike, I'll tell you, I haven't seen anything like that. Marion Hollins. So you got options. You got multi-screen. Get it going. Get multiple, whether it's iPad, laptop, or just screen within the screen on YouTube TV, whatever you got. Great cocktail viewing and mid-afternoon viewing on Saturday and Sunday. There are foursomes Saturday morning, 8 singles Saturday afternoon. Sunday is foursomes in the morning, and then 10 singles Sunday afternoon. So that's your format. I don't think we need to read through the rosters unless you are into that, Andy. But
I got a couple people to watch.
Yeah,
a couple names you should know.
Please.
The American team, as always, is absolutely stacked. This is the thing that you might need to know. They've got the top 6 players in the World Amateur Golf Rankings, 1 through 6. They also have another guy in the top 10. So they have 7 of the top 10 players in the WAGR. Obviously, the belle of the ball right now in amateur golf is Jackson Koiven. We've seen him a ton on the PGA Tour in amateur stuff. So he's the number 1 ranked player in the world. I would say like kind of the big, there's probably, I would put Ben James, Ethan Fang, and Preston Stout have been probably the four, with Koiven, the four most impressive players in amateur golf this summer. I think you could put that Jay Sumi guy in the bucket too. He won the Western Am. But all those guys, two of them play at Oklahoma State. Ben James obviously has played some on tour. He's at Virginia. He's a stud. I mean, they got Big Tom Morrison too, who's like the number 6 player. They got
Tom
all
apparently
types of talent.
Slimmed down significantly.
Yeah, he's on like a diet.
Yeah.
So
grinding.
On the other side, the highest ranked. This is actually a really good GBNI team. So
not always the case.
They've lost 8 of the last 10. The GBNI. The Americans have won 8 of the last 10, including the last 4. The last 2 have been somewhat close. Like it had like that feel of like, the U.S. is going to win, but it was at least there was some drama on Sunday in both of them. The highest ranked GBNI player is Tyler Weaver. He was the ACC Freshman of the Year. He plays at Florida State. He's 10th in the world amateur golf rankings. A couple other names just of note to see him, like Cameron Adam has been really good. He's played on some in the European tour. On the European tour, he'll turn pro right after this. He's been a really, really strong player. Luke Poulter, aforementioned, son of Ian. We'll see what kind of match play metal he has, whether he gets out on the front foot.
The postman's type, yeah.
And then, fun story is Niles Shields Donegan, who's he's from Marin County, just north of San Francisco, Mill Valley. He made the deep run to the semis of the USAM with like a huge hometown crowd. He was he's a Scot though, and that run in the USAM put him on the team. It'll be interesting to see how many fans are out there supporting Niall. His dad's a longtime golf journalist. Also,
Lawrence,
interesting human being, was a bass player in a popular band. So Niall's a really good kid, and it's exciting to see him playing well. He grew up playing golf at like Mill Valley Muni 9-holer course with one of the greatest. Obviously, we're up here. We're in fire country, so there's a sign on the course that says "No smoking," but then right under it, written in pen, "Reefer okay." One of the great golf course signs.
That's pretty good. I wonder, actually, Stuart Haggis. When you think about who might have played this the most prior to this week, Niall being somewhat local would be among them, but probably Stuart Haggis, given his mid-am in California roots. I don't know, but Niall probably has a little bit of familiarity relative to some of the others. How do you think 6,600? We've done so much on this golf course. I commend you to watch our video on YouTube. It is meditative. It will make you feel at ease, and you will be informed on Cypress Point, even if you don't think you'll ever be there. It's still a great way to spend your time and relax. We've got a great pod with Jeff Shackelford on the Fried Egg Pod, a noted historian, architecture expert who wrote a book on Cypress Point. And then Garrett had a lengthy deep dive podcast on the course itself with some of the historians, David Normoyle and Mackenzie Institute, Josh Pettit. So we got a lot on the course. As for the modern muscular boys of the Walker Cup, the 6,600-yard Cypress Point Club, great course, irrespective of whatever they do to it. How do you think they handle this?
I think it's good. This is a match play tournament.
Yes.
Yes. The course record is I think it's 63.
Okay.
It is held by a wide collection of individuals. There's so many people. Ben Hogan has it, but then Jim Langley and Casey Reamer. So Jim Langley was the former pro. There was like renowned, maybe the best pro ever, golf pro ever in terms of just like a club pro, not from a playing sense, just like a human sense. And Casey Reamer, great guy who also has it. So like kind of the standing rules, like you just don't break that course record. I know somebody that was going to break it and kind of putted it around on 18 until he didn't break it. So
that story.
The premise, you just don't break it, but the reality of this is that there are just a ton of par fours that are just like driver flip wedge. For these guys. The par fives you can chew up. You can really get it going at Cypress, but it's tricky in the match play scenario. And I think like playing this golf course plays so much different this time of year where it hasn't rained since April. And you have a golf course that's extraordinarily firm, and you've got in some cases, in some spots, very, very severe greens. So I think something to watch is like, do some of these players lay back to prioritize getting that control of the spin
with the firmness?
With how firm it is, you can get yourself into positions, and I think the USGA is gonna be sneaky with some hole locations, like really kind of push it into places where it penalizes someone that pushes it up but doesn't get into the right spot. Because some of these greens, just because of the way they're built, if you want, I don't want to get too much into the golf course. But a lot of these greens are built into these sand dunes on the golf course, and they get very severe. So with high speeds and a lot of slope, you can get in spots where you're in the fairway and you're totally screwed if you're in the wrong spot in the fairway, particularly with like those 50-yard wedges where you can't generate as much spin as if you're 100 yards away. So I think that'll be a fascinating thing to watch. Obviously, the 16th hole, I was thinking about like what I'm going to do. I'm going to be there for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. One thought, I was thinking about maybe just posting up on 16 for an entire day and just watching, particularly like if it gets breezy out there, that tee shot can be a nightmare, particularly when the wind is in off the left. I was texting with a player who was saying that they got that on one of the practice rounds, and it was just carnage. Everybody was hitting 3 woods off the tee. I mean, it becomes an extraordinarily hard shot for a right-hander if it's in off the left, because your natural tendency. So, like, what's unique about that hole, and it's going to be talked about, shown so much,
right?
Like, I think like what people don't realize just from the photo of it, you see the water in front, the water on the right, the water on the left is also there. And depending on how they play it, I'm not sure how they're going to play it. They could play it where you have to re-tee if you hit in the water on the left, if they don't mark it with lines. Mm-hmm. But anyways, that water on the left is like right there too. And obviously, like if you play it with like just a regular hazard line, that's the place to miss because you get a drop right by the green. If you miss short or right, you're re-teeing. But like with that wind off to the left, like your natural you're really scared of right, so you overcorrect and hit it left. And this is me speaking from a lot of experience. My first 2 go arounds there, I hit it really great shots and was like, oh, there's not much to this. And since I don't think I've hit one on the green, I just continue to pile up X's on that hole. Just so much to the point where I'm considering laying up. And that's something else to watch, which is going to be really fun. If somebody rinses it, I think you have to just lay up. Like the layup is like so nice.
Yeah.
I'm like considering playing that way because if I get the in off the left wind, I'm just going to hit the ball in the water is what I've come to.
So they just over bail left, like trying to cut it and hold it in. Yeah.
Or the wind just eats it up.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the thing. You're kind of sheltered most of the golf course.
Yeah.
And you get out on 16, and that's one of the unique aspects of it is like it's exposed, and it's kind of like your first shot with like nothing. So you almost underestimate the wind. So I think that'll be a fascinating hole. I think 17, you're going to see guys go for 17. I think the plan is they're going to play it up.
Saw a little bit of that happening already. It looks like in practice.
Bryson drove the green from like the regular tee a few years ago. But God, it's such a cool place. I think like there's so many things to take away from Cypress. Everybody's going to take away like the setting. But the club is like very low key. It is very they do things that keep the costs down. They've done their restoration over a number of years. They haven't like done the shutdown, spend millions of dollars. They have, I think that I saw Darren Bavard estimated that there's 10 or 20 different strains of grass. This was from the Shackelford newsletter, the Quadrilateral, in the fairways. And it's like, oh, isn't that nice with all these clubs that are like running to do this monostand bullshit that makes, the 120-year club look like a brand new club. Like, here's the best course in the world. They've got 20 different grasses in the fairway. Like, and to me, like, they have a great unaccompanied guest policy where if a member can set up guests, and every morning there's a bunch of guests that play. And to me, like, it's really smart. They get a lot of money in the door through the unaccompanied guests every morning, and it makes the course a little bit more accessible than a lot of places of its stature. I think this place is I think when I think about Cypress Point, probably like my favorite aspect of Cypress Point is just like it's impossible to have a bad day there. Like, I could play the worst golf of my life and I'll still be smiling from like ear to ear playing there, because like the walk is so fantastic. You're just in one of the most beautiful settings in the world. To me, like I think the holes on the coast are amazing, but like I dream of like the forest holes almost more, and the dune holes in the middle of the round, because like they're so unique and it's just so pretty and calm and peaceful back there. It is a great place, and I'm pinching myself. I wish, I could have gone down earlier this week, but like it's, the idea of balancing, being home and stuff. But getting to spend basically 3 full days there is like a really an incredible privilege. So I can't wait to get down there.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting.
Sorry,
mentioned.
I just rambled.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I think I did play one of the worst rounds of my entire life when I was with you there. Like, really bad. I still remember kind
of. Should we tell the story?
No.
Have we ever told the story?
We'll tell it Monday. It doesn't have a good ending.
No, this is a good story. So it was the 19 U.S. Open, and
we're working till like 3:30 in the morning. Sunday night.
Yeah, ran into somebody on Saturday who was like, you gotta go play, and I asked Brendan, do you want to go play?
I said,
and Brendan, of course, was like, absolutely. Yeah. So the person's like, hey, be there. I think it was at 6:45,
something like that.
Show up at 6:45.
Not a minute before.
So we're up. Potting, writing.
3:30 in the morning, something like that. Trying to figure out what to write about Gary Woodland winning.
And and obviously, like like U.S. Open week, so like you're not playing golf, like you're just sitting around. We roll up at 6:45, and there aren't a lot of people. The person's like, there's nobody signed up to play on Monday, so there aren't a lot of people, but there are a few people, and it's like basically the entire brass of the USGA, Mike Davis, Bodenhammer, the executive committee, and they're all on the putting green right by the first tee. And we roll up. We're just two jamokes. We go into the pro shop, and they're like, well, you guys just go out first. You're two, go out.
Oh my God. 0 sleep, haven't swum a golf club in like 8 days or whatever it was. I'm already anxious about it, Cypress. It's like 7 in the morning. You're just like, yeah. And then,
I was like, you're teeing off, and you're teeing off over hedges and a 17-mile drive. Like,
so I'm I'm
honestly
crapping my pants about that. The hedges and the drive. That's all I want. All I need to just, it's imposing right away.
I was like a little nervous, and I was thinking to myself, just neck one, just like hit it, just get the ball off the tee. And I like, sure enough, like hit this like little heel cut, and I was so happy. I was like, it got out there. And Brendan
came up to
there.
us first. He's like, "Hey guys," we talked to him on the putting grade, and it was like a good hustle and bustle. And then we waddled down to the first tee, and like the hustle and bustle stops, and everyone just goes dead silent and comes to watch us. These two jamokes play golf ahead of them. And you asked me, like, you want to hit first, or you want me to hit first? I was like, yeah, go, yeah, you go, just go. So everybody's watching us now, and you get one out there. And now I'm like just worried about the hedges.
It was maybe the most anxiety I've ever had on a tee box was watching you tee off there.
Oh God!
Honestly, I was like so nervous, and in my head, I'm just like, just get it over the hedges. Just get it over the hedges.
Yeah.
Sure enough, BP busted like 315 right down the middle. It was one of the best drives I've ever seen you hit. And we walk off the first tee, like just dead straight. It was like a rope. We walk off the tee, and I'll never forget. I was like, "How you feeling?" And you're like, "I can't feel my arms."
I was delirious, sleepiness, anxiety, excitement, all like bundled into one. That was a great story. I hit a good one there, and not many good ones after that, but it was an all-time day.
World's smallest violin moment
Seriously.
was that day. So no sleep. It's just been a really long week.
Which
really,
great. We're so appreciative to have that as the long week. Yes.
Amazing, but it's it's one of those weeks where you're working like 90 hours.
Yeah.
And you're tired because you're outside huffing around all day, every day. So I'd set up with some other friends to play that afternoon, or that it was supposed to be mid-morning at Cal Club. And the Cypress thing kind of happened. And I felt I couldn't cancel on my friends, on the other friends.
Yeah.
So I pushed back the Cal Club. So we get done with Cypress, and I just have to haul ass to Cal Club, which is a big walk. I mean, it's on like a mountain, and we walk another 18. And I had a red eye out of SFO that night, and it was so I played 36. Tough. And then our host at Cal Club was just like, hang out in the bar. I'm the only one. I was just in the Cal Club bar alone, waiting for my red eye, and
that's kind of a good spot to be,
slept good. Slept good on the red eye home.
That's great. That's great. Good weekend. Great memories of Cypress. We'll make some more this week. I bet for traveling, if you were gassed and you wanted comfort to travel in, you would go nowadays to Vuori.com/SGS. You get that 20% off immediately in the cart. There's no promo code. You just go to Vuori.com/SGS. That's VUORI.com/SGS. You get 20% off your first purchase. You can allocate that to maybe the Dream Knit Jogger, which are the softest joggers on the planet. Lightweight, relaxed fit, moisture wicking with 4-way performance stretch. You got the Sunday Performance Jogger, everyone's favorite jogger from Vuori, they say. Fresh take on athleisure. You've got the Core Short, which is their short that started it all. I've been wearing that a ton here this late summer, early fall. I guess it's not technically fall, but feels like it. Fitness versatility, or you could just, go out and spend the day in the Core Short. Breathable boxer brief liner, built-in comfort. They also have like a ton of like nice, khaki sort of pants. If you're out there bombing around, so all of a sudden you get to 16, right? And it's windier and breezier than you thought. You got some options. So it's versatility at Vuori.com/SGS. Use no promo code, just 20% off right away. Hit the joggers, hit the Core Short, and peruse the full assortment.
We talked a lot about the Core Short. I'd be remiss. I've got a pair of their board shorts.
Okay.
They're great. Honestly.
Do you board in them?
No, I don't.
Everybody wears board shorts, but that would board.
Here's what I like about it. I know summer's past, but this is as somebody who appreciates the beach, appreciates the,
sure.
as someone who likes to go to the beach.
Yep.
I like days where I don't know if I'm going to the beach, but if I wear the board short, I know I could go to the beach and I don't have to stop at home to get my swimsuit on. Or I could go on a boat and say, I don't know if I'm going to go in the water or not, but if I do, I'm fine. I can go in the water with this.
Yeah, you look good, and you also have versatility and activity there. Vuori.com/SGS. Support them, 20% off. Anything else, Walker Cup? I feel like we've hit on a lot. Look, it is amazing, objectively great. I think you should watch it, put it up there with the football and everything this weekend. Like it is, like we have to acknowledge it is like a niche event, and maybe by design, right? I mean, like that's kind of how the people involved. It's not going to overtake football or anything, but for our purposes, it is a subjective event. I would say, or subjectively an excellent event. But there's some self-regard there, right? You talk about boys club, lads club. This is the original boys club, lads club event. I think it's gotten much more meritocratic, and goes to the best golf course in the world. We don't always get to see, but this is a golf nerd's dream this week. So, all right. Elsewhere on the Irish Open, real quick, you want to talk about Cypress Point being firm. Well, what connotes Ireland golf September after like one of their hottest summers ever? Not drier, not the driest, but hottest summers ever in Ireland. It's September 4th. Yannick Paul, course update, Irish Open. Course is super wet. Rough is thick almost everywhere. Overall, course is in good condition, but the greens are incredibly soft and the ball is not flying far. Good driving. Like Irish Open, September 4th. Just feels like a missed opportunity.
Think about last year at Royal County Down, too.
Look, I know the K Club has like a prominent place in Irish golf, and it's nearish Dublin, and it's easy to get to, and but man, that just feels like a total miss. Either way, Rory has brought the masses out. They're following him all over. He was put on the clock early, and then put on the clock again later. A lot of uproar about this from both the media. Rory himself sort of said he had to hold himself back from like losing his shit on the officials. Had a handful of he didn't actually go nuts, but he made I think 2 bogeys in his last 3 holes. He said, in all honesty, I felt a little rushed out there for the last 12 holes. He's playing with Thirsty Boy Lawrence and Christopher Reitan, who shot 81-77. So they're taking some swings. That's going to add time. Rory's back there with the green jacket. He's got everybody there. It's everybody's following him. It just adds to the time. So we got put on the clock early, and the first official went away, and then we put on the clock for the last 3 holes to try to make time up. I just felt, because it's happened to me quite a lot before in these sorts of big groups, I felt like I just let it agitate me a little bit. And it's hard because you feel a bit rushed. You're playing some tough holes. We obviously has to deal with a lot more than any group on the course. I got a little frustrated last few holes because it always happens. I don't think they're sort of used to common sense. I think about the European Tour, adjudication over here in terms of, well, of course we're going to lose ground because we're going to have to wait on crowds, wait on 2 camera crews that are out there. There's just a lot more going on with our group than any of the other groups on the course. And sometimes I feel like they have to give us a little bit of leeway. I don't want to aid and abet his slow play if he is slow, but he is very much on the money about the circus he has to wait for. And it will never be probably quite like it was in Portrush, but he does have to wait for camera crews to set up, camera crews to stop shuffling. Walking press, walking whatever, officials to stop. It is, and rope lines to clear. It is a little bit nuts. That said, if you're going, it just sounds like they didn't use common sense. This is for James Corrigan had a funny tweet. It's like a disgrace that they put him on the clock. It's pathetic. They put him on the stopwatch. The rest of the field was in blessed isolation. Pandemonium with McIlroy's group. They have to make allowances. So yeah, there is context around how long this has taken. And he's out there with Thirsty Boy and Christopher Reitan, who are shooting near 80. So, but that's your early DP World Tour update, where The Elvira Zone. Did you see the Elvira Zone? Nacho and Manuel were 1-2. Oh man, Manuel fell off. That's too bad. But they're both still
the cheeseburgers in the mix too. I wonder if his contract's up. It'd be great to have the cheeseburger back on the DP World Tour.
I think he is. He's off live. He was off live this year. Which makes you wonder how much he moves the needle there. I think he is back on the DP World Tour this year.
It's a great leaderboard. You got the gentleman, grumpy boy laying askew.
Yeah. Why is he grumpy?
I think he's grumpy.
Okay. All right.
I just assume all French golfers are grumpy.
Oh man, we're gonna hear about that.
I mean, Alex Levy was grumpy. Victor was grumpy.
Okay.
You got Angels and Demons. Brown.
Danny Brown was the early leader. Yeah. Yep.
Rafa Cabrera Bello, back from dead. Formerly part of the Spanish Armada. One of the great Ryder Cup pairings. Was it him and Rom, or him and Sergio?
Which one? RCB?
Yeah.
At Hazeltine? Rom wouldn't have been on at 16.
It was him and Sergio.
Yeah.
Then.
Yep.
This is great.
It's decent coffee golf. I wish it were at a proper links course, but it's decent coffee golf. You don't want to watch Game Day or a Big Noon Saturday morning. Watch this. You hear people shout about whatever. This guy's a dog and all this stuff, and his coach knows how to overcome adversity. Watch coffee golf. Irish Open's nice. While we're on the subject of European Tour, do you see Pablo Larrazabal popping off? Sergio's disappointed. Another Spaniard is disappointed. He said, this is after the picks, said Ryder Cup Team Europe will go with what Captain Luke thinks is his best team, but 0.0 players that play the European Tour schedule. So what's the point? Marco Penge deserved a pick, and Wallace deserved a pick. But only 12 men play. Good luck in NJ, which is just an amusing sign-off. New Jersey. I think it's in New York. But
how do you feel about that, PJ? What's the most offensive part as a New Yorker? What's the most offensive part of that message? Is it that Marco Penge deserved a pick, or good luck in NJ?
I swear I almost went over the top with a quote tweet being like, this is being played on Long Island. Like, I was pissed. That really hurt me. I'm sure Pablo's a nice dude. I think he's making some very good points for the sake of content. The good luck at NJ. We didn't have to take a ricochet shot there for no reason.
Is he making good points?
I think so. I mean, I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, totally.
They have completely eliminated the DP World Tour from this DP World Tour run event. I get it. I get what he's saying. Who are you taking Marco Penge over? Like, I have no idea. I
mean, do you deserve, in theory, in hypothetical world where
this also didn't even mention Harry Hall, who I think has a better argument than those two anyway. So
none of these guys are part of the Lads Club. That's the problem.
The Lads Club is more of a Walker Cup stuff, I feel like.
Well, you could be
the
part
landed
of
gentry in the 1960s.
You could be part of the Lads Club if you want a button. If you're out at the Ryder Cup, come find me. We got plenty.
It's an interesting point. Look, everybody it's a consolidation of sports. Everybody plays, on where everybody the best. It's just the way the modern world has gone, and as soon as the top 10 guys come to the PGA Tour, a lot of them don't hold up and go right back. Thirsty Boy being one of them, Matteo Manassero being another. I wrote last year at Troon, I think Thurston Lawrence was the first time like a true dyed-in-the-wool European Tour member was contending for a major in like many, many, many majors. And yet, like the Ryder Cup, you can't be mad at Luke Donald. He took the right 12 guys. We love the European Tour. We love it. Like we love the characters and its history, but it's not what it was. And you can't make the 12 best European Tour only primary players your Ryder Cup team if you want the Ryder Cup to be competitive. An interesting tweet, nonetheless. He did tweet several times. He had Penge in his picks with Rahm and Fitz. It's pretty good. He loves himself some Marco Penge. DP World Tour. It's regrettable, but you see they're chartering. This is kind of incredible. They're chartering a jet from Wentworth to New York City. So they're going to play Irish Open this week, Then everybody's there at Wentworth besides, I think, Sepp. They're charting from Wentworth to New York City, 2 days of practice at Bethpage, and then spending the rest of the week to acclimate to the time zone in New York. These guys...
Are they going to Newark?
This is a Golf Channel report, by the way.
They're hanging out on Long Island, from what I gather. I think they're going to be basking in the joys of the wonderful golf courses out maybe a little bit east.
I think it's kind of incredible, though, that this Ryder Cup, I don't want to, world's smallest violin. It essentially starts at Wentworth and doesn't finish till September 29th. And they're going to basically spend 2 full weeks in Long Island or New York. It's just speaking to the big business and the way it's ballooned and the importance. That's, in the old days, these guys would show up on like Wednesday or Thursday. And they're like, all right, where do you want me, Cap? Let's go play. Now they're going to be in New York 2 full weeks, Bacon, Wentworth being sort of an unofficial team bonding deal. Then you're talking about like a 3-week commitment for 3 days of play. It's interesting the way everything's ballooned out.
Well, that's the way everything works, right? Like, think about like what, like anything that becomes popular over time just becomes more and more of a time commitment.
NFL draft being 3 days.
I mean, think about music festivals that started as 2-day festivals. A lot of the big ones are now like 4 days. It's like, what?
Well, I'm just, for a bunch of rich guys who aren't told what to do that often and make their own schedule and play an event that, ostensibly there is no purse, it's a lot of time. It's interesting. If you want to talk about the booming business or the overexpansion of the Ryder Cup,
it seems like you're struggling here
we got to get this under control. I'm not struggling. I'm just wondering how loud I want to shout right now. You talk about the Walker Cup being understated, maybe being full of its own self-regard with some people up there. I'd rather have it this way than whatever's going on with the Ryder Cup. PJ, take us away with the first activation at Rockefeller Center. What's going on there?
This is terrible. So the famous ice rink in front of Rockefeller Center where they have the Christmas tree, everything. They are taking that over. They're putting like golf simulators outdoors. They got some patio furniture, and they got a bunch of screens that people can go watch the Ryder Cup at 7 a.m. on a Friday at Rockefeller Center. I think this is. I think it's terrible. I think it's absolutely like, if you sign up to do this, you belong on a list. Like, we got to just write this down. Adam was like, you should go out there and do some content. No, I'm not going to do that because I have self-respect.
Well, if you have a TV, you can watch it on your own TV instead of like an ice rink in Rockefeller Center.
You know what it feels like to me? It feels kind of like the golf's version of Times Square for New Year's.
Times Square for New Year's? Times Square for the Super Bowl at MetLife for Broncos Seahawks?
Oh, you're mad about this not being on Long Island.
I'm pissed, legitimately. Like, this is not a New York event. With all of the content that they are trying to do, you would think that Bethpage is in Central Park. This is ridiculous. Like, Long Island is a real place that has its own culture, and the city's there. It's great. I'm happy to have the city, but this is a Long Island event, and I'm happy that the Shinnecock narrative next year is not going to be as city dominated. I think that's going to be great. I'm very happy about that.
How would you feel if I decided to just stay in the city all week instead of going out to Long Island?
Sign into your own bad week. You are putting your own initials on that. I would strongly advise against that, but that is between you and your God. Good luck with that.
Well,
I just was thinking I could just hang out in the city.
Sure wouldn't, but that's up to you.
Wow, well, I didn't realize you were so anti-New York City.
No, I'm not anti.
Sounds like you
I'm
are.
not anti-city. I think Long Island is not getting any benefit of this event being on a public course on Long Island.
Get out of here.
The Airbnbs are going for $75,000. These like normal 3-bedroom homes. Well, Long Island's doing just fine for itself.
I'm not disputing that they're not either. I just think that this is very city dominated when this is happening an hour outside of the city.
Okay, well, that's the hook.
Liv's branded the event Live Chicago when it was at Dick Harvest Farms, which is an hour and a half from the city.
Who is going at 7 a.m. outdoors
to Rockefeller
Center? The Today Show is. Carson Daly will be there, but who else, realistically?
Well, if you stay home to watch.
I think you should be out there.
No.
That's what Adam's suggesting.
No, I'm good. I can't. I don't think I can do that. If
you stay home to watch, the PGA of America is also cramming down the offering of an at-home fan kit for you to purchase.
This is bad.
$1,081.
I just want to go $350 option first. Custom watercolor art print. I mean, custom, sure. Ryder Cup merch, 2 hats, 24 cocktail napkins, 12 coasters, 12 cups, 12 drink stirs and skewers, 12 flag toothpicks, 8 balloons, 1 hanging pennant, and 1 table runner, and a booklet for $350 for a bunch of paper goods, like you're having your kid's birthday party and you go to Party City.
I was going to say, I could put you into plenty party cities on Long Island.
It's a big world out there. I don't think we should judge people for what they get into or want to do, as long as it's not harming other people. But if you go and purchase this for a bunch of flag toothpicks and coasters and napkins, you are a sucker. If you spend $350 for this, you could do the $1,000 one. You get just doubles 100 napkins and 20 table tents.
Well, and you get the quiet please paddles, so you can walk around your own house telling people to shut up when the golf is on TV.
You're just a sucker. Go buy some normal napkins and watch the Ryder Cup. But the PGA is just milking this for everything they can. And I don't, this has been marketed as the biggest one ever. I had someone text me. It's like, this whole Ryder Cup has been a massive turnoff. You're going to be crammed and expensive. People are going to be fighting because they're so stressed out. They're just turning golf tournaments into these giant corporate hospitality experiences. And if you're into that, you could pay $2,000 for the Rayos or the Rouse experience. Now, PJ was under the impression that this was just a concession stand serving Italian fare.
I thought they were just throwing meatballs at people.
No. It is $2,700 per person. Reservations are available, must be paid in full to secure the reservation. So you're just 4 people, you're throwing down 10 G's no matter what, whether you decide to show up. And it's a pop-up Rayos or Rouse, whatever it is. All I know is that sauce is available in my Harris Teeter down the street.
They have great deals on it at Costco. You can get a 2-for-1 at Costco any day, really.
But this is the sauce. This is sauce.
It's good sauce.
It's good sauce. Look at your little Long Island is showing there.
I won't, I'm not going to say it's bad, but I think this is equally ridiculous. I thought it would be better if they were just throwing meatballs at people, but no,
it's not.
It's a restaurant. It's a legit
exclusive.
restaurant.
You got to spend $3,000 to get in.
Hey, Peach, I got to say, you've got a platform. Why don't you inform people of what they should be doing to get ready for the Ryder Cup on Long Island?
Well,
what should they be doing? Where should they be going? Where should all these, tens of thousands of people that are coming every day, where should they be hanging out on the island?
Why aren't, instead of Rockefeller Center, we have our own monuments? You want to go to the Air and Space Museum or Nassau Coliseum? It's right down the road. We're staying within the greater Farmingdale region there. Nassau Coliseum's got nothing going on now. The Islanders don't even play there. This could be a great place.
Think about you, Long Island boys, not even a fan of the Islanders.
No, I'm not.
You have to go into the city for your hockey team.
As someone who just made, I feel like a hypocrite, very anti-provincial food take, the Italian food on Long Island at just like the mom and family-owned restaurants is a step above. So recommend us some, the 3 or 4 I've ever been to, I was like, God, this is different. This is built different. This is really good. So recommend us some spots instead of going to the pop-up Rayos for $3,000. PJ, be a man of the people. Yeah, and we'll have a guide.
Maybe next episode you come prepared with your Long Island guide.
Sure, I can compile a guide.
There's also a $10,000 package. I don't want to go into it, but the at-home kit,
what I'd like
the
to
Rockefeller Center and the Rayos and the $10,000 ticket. They're milking it. It's good.
I'd like to go to like a good Italian deli. Are there any on Long Island?
Oh boy, do I have a couple good Italian delis for you.
There we go.
I mean, like the thing that people like, I think maybe the most preposterous part of the Ryder Cup is the lead up to it.
Yeah.
Is like the 4 days of just ridiculous, like
Junior
over analyzing pods and players and stuff. I think I might just be hanging out, going to Italian delis.
Yeah, you want to do some good Italian food? We can do deli, and then we can go to a good Italian restaurant. We can cover the whole basis.
Bethpage for a short minute.
Yeah, we'll cover everything.
That's where I'm thinking maybe I just stay in the city because I'll probably get better food there, right?
Now you're taking shots at the places where I eat all the time.
We don't do quid pro quo stuff on this podcast ever, but I can't be corrupted with good Italian food on an island. I just don't remember the names of these places, but please, we're coming to sample the fare. All right, yeah, Ryder Cup, just giant business. It's incredible, but who can blame them? They're
hey, if you go to Rockefeller Center, let us know. I'll put your name on a list, but maybe I'll take you off if you give us a review. So
I'm going to see if we can expense the $10,000 ticket for you with black car service from Manhattan and Bethpage Clubhouse access.
Andy's going to need it.
Got a feeling that Business Pete would shoot that one down.
Premium liquor, premium food, all that $10,000. All right, we'll talk plenty of Ryder Cup here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Other news, we have the Golf Channel games are officially announced. This is Scottie's group versus Rory's group. The actual games, we have the format, the All-Star Challenge, whatever you want to call it. It's December 17th. I believe, on Golf Channel. Do we have the time? It's prime time under the lights. I don't think I have an exact time yet. So late on December 17th, USA Network. The games are timed drive, chip, and putt. So 3 solo 3 position-based disciplines. So you drive a total number of yards, chip within a certain proximity, and hole a certain number of feet of putts. Timed. You have the 14 Club Challenge, which is 4-on-4. And each guy, there's like 4 1v1 matches. I think each guy picks a club and you go until you're out of clubs and you're just trying to hit it closest to the pin, designated distance in the fairway from a designated distance. So, whatever, they put him 150 out there and Rory's guy gets first pick and he takes a 9-iron. Then Scottie's guy gets next pick and he takes an 8-iron. And then, all the way through the bag. And there's 4 of those matches. That's how I read it. 14 Club Challenge. A timed shootout, which is a 4-player alternate shot on 3 holes with teammates staged on the tee, the fairway, and around the green. So kind of your slingshot concept there, Andy, with guys waiting in the fairway and around the green, and it's three shots, 3 holes, I should say, alt shot. And then a captain's challenge, Rory versus Scottie. So that's the headliner versus the headliner, where players hit from predetermined locations, 100 yards, 50 yards, bunker. Green shot, the green side chip or wedge, I guess, as it were, 50-foot and 10-foot putt. So those are the 4 things. Seems creative. Could get sort of maybe confusing at times about like what game we're in and what the exact rules are, but I think it's worth trying and I'm excited. We've got 3 months to figure that out before we get there, but we have specifics on the actual Golf Channel games. Now we just need to know who's going to be there. Feels like Rory's going to bring Shane. Just be a guess. Maybe slamming Sammy Burns comes with Scottie Scheffler. But I like the games doing something different. And the timing, like rapid, seems to be a real emphasis of the whole thing.
What if Scottie just sucked at this?
Because it's unfair?
Like it just was terrible.
I don't see that happening.
I don't either. I just think it would be like the most amusing result would be him just being awful at it and people being like, well, he didn't look good in that skills challenge.
It's
and then he goes out and wins 9 times next year.
He can only play majors. He's one-dimensional. Can't play skills challenges. That'd be good. That'd be good. Those are golf channel games.
Do you think Bennett gets airtime during this?
Yeah, probably. But Benny Boy will be there. He'll be in a little elf suit December 17th. He'll be all dialed in. It'll be good.
Meredith's going to cook up a good outfit for Bennett.
Yeah, that'd be good. I like it. I kind of like the games. They'll be on Golf Channel. Other news, I think that Larry Nelson's going to be there at the Ryder Cup. Thank God. The most disrespected man in Ryder Cup history. Won 3 majors, 9-3-1 Ryder Cup record.
Put
He's
Keegan in
as an ambassador.
Give Larry Nelson the captainship.
Who is this Russ Henley fella? Who's Sam Burns? Who's Cam Young? I don't. I'm sure he knows all those players. I'm just kidding. He's just up there nowadays. All right, I think that. Do you have a Walker Cup crime files you wanted to add to on this episode?
This was passed along to me.
I appreciate Evans from last episode.
Appreciate
another
Dyed in the Wool media member passing this a great story along.
Okay.
Today we're going to dive into Garth McKimsey.
Gareth or Garth?
I think it was Garth.
Okay. All right.
Garth. Garth.
Okay. Garth. All right.
Garth McKimsey.
Okay.
Now, you probably wondered, who is Garth McKimsey? He's from Northern Ireland, born in 1955. So probably grew up in the height of the Troubles there.
Yeah.
He won the amateur in 1985 at Royal Dornoch. So he played the Masters. He obviously played on some Walker Cup teams. He played on 3 Walker Cup teams in 85, 89, and 91. And then he was a captain for 2003 and 2005.
Oh, bona fide Walker Cup legend. Played 3, captain 2.
Now, something interesting happened in 2004. So the year in between is double captaincy here. So this is an Irish Independent article from 2004. Top Irish golfer Garth McKimsey has been cleared of any link to drug seizure claimed yesterday he may have been a victim of a setup. McKimsey was arrested in May when customs officers searched his home in Bangor County Down and found 60 pounds, $91,000 roughly of cocaine in a parcel which arrived from Amsterdam.
You're talking about the reigning Walker Cup captain and captain to be?
Yes.
Arrested with, what was it, 60 pounds?
60,000 pounds. 60,000 pounds in terms of the money.
Got it.
Not
Okay.
Pounds,
oh, my God. Okay.
60,000
no, not that.
pounds.
That would be coming over in the cargo ship. Yeah.
The 49-year-old non-playing captain of the Great Britain and Ireland Walker Cup team has been freed from bail and told he's no longer part of the investigation.
Oh, so
Nobody's been charged in connection with the fine, but McKimsey protested his innocence from the moment he was detained, fears the affair could have been an attempt to frame him.
Somebody wanted the captaincy, or somebody who thought he wouldn't get picked?
This is a crazy story. He said yesterday, a stain of my character has been removed, but it might never disappear. It definitely hasn't disappeared. We're still talking about it until we find out who exactly was responsible for this and why. McKimsey was questioned just once over 2 hours in Newtownards, County Down, where he protested his innocence. A customs excise spokesman confirmed he has been released from bail and he has not been charged. So he's due for leave in America later this month as part of the preparations for defense of the Walker Cup in Chicago. And a member of the RNA said he works as an agent for several leading golf sportswear firms. It was capped 226, whatever. Father of 3, he's separated. So anyways, he said customs has informed me that I'm no longer part of their investigation. So he's okay. He's cleared, and he's talking about what happened.
Oh, God.
So he said he recalled yesterday the doorbell rang, and a parcel was delivered. I set it down in the hallway, and I didn't think there was anything unusual about it. A couple of minutes later, I opened it. The first thing I saw was a football, then a teddy bear, 3 tennis balls in a plastic tube, and 2 boxes of sweets. Then, at the bottom of the box, there were 6 packages in brown paper. I immediately became suspicious. 2 minutes later, 3 cars pulled up in the driveway and 2 customs men arrived.
That does kind of sound like I don't know. Maybe he ordered it on Amazon and it had his name on it.
This is insane.
So it gets delivered. He opens it and the cops show up immediately. The teddy bear, I love the fake disguise, tennis balls, sweets, teddy bear, and a football. That's crazy. But he was cleared because he was Ryder. He would be captain again. It feels like a setup. It really does. I want to impugn his character.
Who? A setup of what? Because he's the Ryder Cup or Walker Cup captain? Somebody's trying to set him up, and the person that wants to be Walker Cup captain is sending $60,000 of cocaine to somebody's house?
Was it delivered to the wrong address? Maybe it was meant to go next door. He was cleared. Is this guy really just trafficking cocaine in Northern Ireland in between Walker Cup captaincies? Seems unwise. Seems unnecessary.
The color on this, I asked around a little bit. Someone suggested that he was up to his neck with all types of nefarious stuff.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Very good player, very shady.
I got some more color about Dunky from Monday. Similar response. A lot of color from across the pond about Dunky. Interesting.
He apparently, McKinsey was apparently on one side of the troubles. I'll leave it out of which side he was on.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know how you want to you use your own interpretation of this, but the man had $60,000 of cocaine that just showed up at his house.
He was just trying to get some tennis balls, I think. And somebody mispackaged it on Amsterdam. They put the wrong
Somebody
stuff.
that's sending $60,000 of cocaine, I just generally don't think they make an address mistake.
I'll tell you what. I would not advise against ordering $60,000 of cocaine to get delivered to your door, but I would advise ordering however many pounds of venison you would like to get delivered to your door. Might come in a frozen, dry ice box because they keep this stuff fresh at Maui Nui Venison. That's MAUI, like the island, Nui, NUI, venison.com/SGS. Go there to peruse our favorite cuts. It offers the world's only 100% wild harvested meat. It's completely stress-free and responsibly sourced. It's perfect for anyone looking to elevate their meals with delicious, high-quality protein. Now they have a new Ohana Reserve-aged cuts. We have more of this coming to us pretty soon, Andy. You were talking about it. You're very excited about this.
Pretty excited.
Shipment.
Medallions.
Hopefully
I'm going to make some more venison tacos. I can't wait.
The origins are 100% wild axis deer living freely in a stress-free environment. It is as organic as it gets. No feedlots, no antibiotics, no hormones, USDA injected, nothing. You get subscription only through the Ohana Reserve box, 3 premium aged cuts, ground venison, and jerky sticks. Ships frozen nationwide every 4, 6, or 8 weeks. Due to the nature of their work, supplies of the Reserve aged cuts are limited. Once subscription fills, spots are gone. They're offering a free 12-pack of venison jerky sticks. These are huge. I brought these to the Masters at the Dratty house down there. These were just flying around. Everybody who came through, Smartin, of course, after eating all our chips a few years ago, he just dove into the venison sticks.
Smartin's always up for the free food at the Masters house.
You get a free 12-pack of venison jerky sticks with your first order of $79 or more. You get the reserve box by going to MauiNuiVenison.com/SGS. That's MAUI NUI, MauiNuiVenison.com/SGS, and you get 20% off your first purchase. You get the free 12-pack of venison jerky sticks. So MauiNuiVenison.com/SGS. I would suggest getting that mailed to you and not what Garth had sent to him.
I wonder where you go about procuring $60,000 of pounds of cocaine.
I mean, I'm sure there's some places you could go do that. I don't know. It seems like inadvisable to have it shipped to you. All right, we're going to kick it to a flashback, an old Flashback Friday on the original Walker Cup. This is one of the earliest moments of our flashbacks. Andy dove deep on this one.
To translate 60,000 pounds today is 102.
Okay.
Thousand.
Right. It's a good chunk of change. Good chunk of change. He saw something that was wrapped in brown paper. He knew it was something had gone horribly wrong. I don't know. He was set up, in my opinion. But we're going to throw it to a Flashback Friday on the original Walker Cup. Just an insane set of circumstances and misadventures and close matches. The point of a journalist. Maybe, Andy, you're going to be out there traipsing around Cypress Point this week. Maybe if some hard times befall the American side, you're the media member that gets thrust into a match like this original Walker Cup Flashback. National Golf Links.
I guess I should put my clubs in my car. I wasn't even going to bring clubs.
Yeah, put the clubs in the car.
Just in case.
The flashback is any indication of what could be possible. It's a great one. There's so many great anecdotes and color from this. So we're going to throw it to that to set you up for the weekend at the Walker Cup. And then we will talk to you on the other side. Enjoy your weekends. Enjoy Walker Cup, NFL football. We'll be back.
When are we doing the over-unders?
Maybe we'll sneak it in at some point. Social video. I don't know. You're going down to Cypress Point. When do you want to do it?
I just
Monday,
was ready
Saturday?
to hammer the over on whatever number PJ was going to come up with for Caleb passing yards.
I was gonna say 4,000. Yes or no? Does he do it?
Over.
Binary.
This is just such a big number for Bears fans.
Push. Hits 4,000 exactly.
Push. He hits 3,999.
Yeah. It's Godspeed. You're not playing until Monday night, so maybe we could do over-unders on the Monday episode. You get you Monday night.
Browns over under 3.5 wins.
I think it's 4.5 is the actual number.
Well,
I'm taking Andy's line. I'm going over. I look. No one is as realistic about how bad the Browns are than me. All of us are like that with our teams. I don't think they're very good. I think they could cook for a little bit. Flacco and Stefanski could cook for a little bit. Myles Garrett wreaks havoc on a game or two.
That Bengals defense is real bad. Yeah,
I think like this first game could be one they pick off. And I know they're horrible. I'm not suggesting they're good, but I would proceed with caution if you're thinking about them in a survivor pool or anything like that. So I'll go over 3.5. All right, let's get to the flashback. Enjoy your weekends. We will be back with you on Monday.
All right, Flashback Friday. We are going back to the first Walker Cup and the formation of the Walker Cup. I feel like I don't know how much people know about the Walker Cup, how it started.
Just pretend people don't know anything.
Yeah.
Obviously, our listeners are very highly educated in golf nuts. Assume they know a little bit, but just let's operate as if they know nothing.
Did you say that because you know nothing?
Bullshit. Get out of here with this. That's not accurate at all. I've done a lot of reading just in the last hour. I'm kidding.
So,
you're mad I'm wearing a Browns hat. I'm sending out Cody Parkey gifts.
Yeah, I am. There's a little. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
You're just kicking a man while he's down.
I'm not. All right. Go ahead.
Just kicking some dirt in my eyes. So the R&A was over for meetings about rules. And one of the participants was George Herbert Walker, USGA president in 1920. And they started talking about this international team competition. The U.S. had been doing these matches with Canada, amateur matches. And, there was a lot of history that went into it before. C.B. McDonald was, his usual tyrant self, Maybe the number one menace in golf history, C.B. McDonald. Sidebar: he protested the first two USAMs until he won. Then he said there wasn't a formal set of rules, so he protested But anyways,
like Bryson or something.
Oh,
Bryson
yeah.
Prior era, it's just a little whiny. But go ahead.
So CB had been like talking about a need for an international competition in like 1915, but World War I kind of derailed everything. So in 1921, coming out of this, the USGA invited every golfing nation to send teams to compete in this match. But no country was able to accept that year. Lots of broke countries, the fees, everything. So nothing happened. But the man who kind of saved it all was William Founds. And he was of the Founds family who
I was gonna say
founded Oakmont.
Yeah, relation to Henry Founds.
A USAM champion, like an iconic US amateur golfer. 1910 USAM champion. And he was kind of the leader of this, America versus Canada match. So he took the team to England. They got on a boat and headed over to England in 1921. And they played at Hoylake. So they defeated the British team 9-3 in an informal match the day before the British Am. So they always paired it up with the Am because of the immense travel. And the first Walker Cup was paired up with the US Am at Brookline. So
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is also on a professional level, how the Ryder Cup came about. They just wanted to add some team matches before the Open, I think. It was just kind of an informal, trying to get it done around the Open. But go ahead.
Maybe that'll be the Flashback Friday in about a year from now.
There you go. Go ahead.
Early in 1922, R&A announced that it would send the team to compete in the Walker Cup. So, the Walker Cup named after George Walker, USGA president. But, many people say it should be called the Founds Cup.
Oh, interesting.
Because Walker wanted to do it, but Founds was the one that actually
took it on. Yeah.
Because it wouldn't have happened if they didn't go and do that in 21.
Right. And
they actually invited all the teams in the world, but only GB and I came.
Okay.
So it would the event was at National Golf Links of America, CB McDonald's club, also Walker's home club. The competition was everybody but Great Britain's the only one that came over. So at that point, the match was played on an annual basis. So 22, 23, 24, it was decided that it was too expensive. To do so
every other year.
So they went to the every other year. So from present prospects, this is from Bernard Darwin. From present prospects, this will easily be the greatest international year that American golf has ever known.
What year are we talking about?
22. With the first year when National Golf Links first Walker Cup. So, all these guys are coming over, they have, and this is really when that international golf, all the best players are going to the US Open and the USAM. And then they have this Walker Cup. And there was actually huge fear, in that the Walker Cup is going to overshadow the USAM. So there was a New York Times article that highlighted that. Will this competition ruin the USAM? So if you're really interested in this first Walker Cup, Chris Millard, who wrote National Golf Link's big history book, used to work at Digest. He wrote a really awesome article for the program of the 44th Walker Cup, which is at National Golf Links a few years ago.
Yeah, a few.
So the headliner of the event was Bobby Jones. So he was at the time 20 years old. He was still in school, and American golf was really on the rise. So like after losing the first 16 U.S. Opens, Americans had won 8 of the last 10. So they were this growing golf power, but still Great Britain was like the de facto, like, we are the golf gods.
Because, the Godfather.
Yeah, because we started the game. You guys are just, kind of, just learning how to play the game.
Johnny come lately, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Bernard Darwin accompanies the Great Britain team as a writer for this event. So they hopped on a boat. It took like 8 days to come over.
Scott McCarron can't get on one to go to the Senior Open. So
it's an 8-day boat ride. So here's like his kind of preview. It is, I hope and believe, a fine team. I do not say is fine enough to win about the Great Britain team, because I know what is up against, but I think it will make a good showing and further think that National Golf Links, which with its seaside breeze is like some of our home courses, should suit the players well. If they don't play well there, then they will not play well anywhere, and I will offer on their behalf no alibi. He then gave like an alibi. He noted that they didn't have their best player, British amateur champion Ernest Holderness. He had to work.
That's amazing.
Imagine that.
Their best. He was the amateur champion, reigning amateur.
British Am champion.
British Am, right? Yeah.
So imagine if isn't
that just called the amateur?
Imagine if Cole Hammer couldn't play because he's like, I got a caddy at the club. It's the member guest.
It's the member guest.
How good is that?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So, Angus Hambro also just bailed late. He was like didn't show up to the boat.
So did they go with one less guy, or did they find?
They had a reserve player.
Okay.
They planned a reserve player, but now Bernard Darwin, the writer, was their reserve.
Oh my gosh. This is an excellent flashback nugget. So that's amazing.
Imagine if you were going to the Walker Cup and you were the American reserve.
Depends on how many strokes I'm getting. But like, you might as well just forfeit the points and get rid of it.
So like the premier golf writer is the reserve for the inaugural Walker Cup team, the Great Britain's formed.
Amazing.
It is an important sidebar. He was a very good player. He had reached like the semis of the British Am years ago. So he was very, very capable.
I assume they wouldn't entertain it if they didn't know he could.
They wouldn't have had another option. They didn't have another option.
Right.
So the Brits to acclimate to America, they planned that they arrived 16 days before the match.
Oh my God.
Darwin wrote that this might have had an opposite effect because of the nightlife scene.
Oh God.
So they're
out in the Hamptons or where?
New York, all over New York. They had lavish dinners. So their arrival in America. So this is a quote. Their arrival in America will leave them about 3 weeks in which to become acclimated to conditions on the other side. Unfortunately, this matter of acclimation is greatly a matter of chance. 3 weeks will be a sufficient time for some of the wanderers, while on the other hand, it may just prove enough to upset one or two members of the team. So
the wanderers, okay.
They talked about how if it was hot, they were screwed.
Why? Because
they're not used to hot weather, and they're playing in jackets and ties, just like the Chicago golf flashback a few weeks ago.
Yeah, right.
So the U.S. sets up like a gauntlet of dinners and matches and tours of all the clubs around the area. And Darwin suggests that it might have been gamesmanship. That they were just loading the schedule to tire them out.
Getting these guys worse for the wear?
Yeah.
Oh,
So Darwin wrote the first day comes, and sure enough, Harris is out with tonsillitis. One of the players, Harris, tonsillitis. Tonsillitis in the middle of summer.
You just come to New York, you get a bunch of
Sounds like 3 weeks of partying. Just knocked him out. So Darwin's now in the matches.
Oh, hell yeah. So good.
So it's pretty funny because there's articles that Darwin's article talks about the first day being insufferable heat.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
what time of year is this? Do we know?
It's in early September.
Early September. Okay.
Right before the AM. Meanwhile, America's Jess Sweetser recalled it as a mild day.
So what? I mean, what is the sliding scale here?
The historical records show it was 80.
Oh. I mean, that's pretty impressive if you're living on the coast of England, or
never a bet.
Yeah.
So thunderstorms came too. So it must have been a humid 80.
Okay. Okay.
Another problem was that thunderstorm softened the course, so it was less firm and fast.
There you go.
Much different So there's much different conditions than the links land. So there's a 2,000 person crowd, and they did 36 hole matches at this time.
Oh shit. Okay.
So Robert Harris, the guy that couldn't, play, Darwin wrote was of little service to the team, and he was the captain.
Oh shit.
So Darwin is in the match.
Captain went too hard. Got after it a little bit too much.
Too much captain duties. So Darwin, in his first match, just gets clobbered. The team match, they lose 8-7 in team match.
Okay.
Worst defeat of the whole thing. Bobby Jones, the U.S. gets off to a hot start. Bobby Jones and Jess Sweetser, they were up 9 at one point in their match. Ended up winning like 3-2. 36 hole match, so they were up 9. They were, over, 36.
Right.
So they're up, and day 2 comes. There's 8 matches, and they only needed to win 4. So U.S. wins the first 5 matches. So it's over.
It's over.
But the last 3 are playing out, and the Brits won the final 3. So that's why the match looks a lot closer. One of which was Bernard Darwin's match.
Oh yeah. He won.
So of all the players that Darwin had to play in singles, he had to play Wild Bill Founds, like the American stalwart. He was the guy that nobody wanted to play because he had he had he was just the crafty, old guy, the de facto leader of American amateur golf.
Yes.
So prior to the match, Darwin got hit by a stray practice shot in the chest.
What?
He got pegged in the chest.
Oh, Jesus.
So he wrote, I thought for a moment here was a state of things. If it, I might have transposed this wrong. I thought for a moment here was a state of things. If only available, a substitute was killed. Like he thought he might die.
Yeah.
Just read this. Smoked with a golf ball in the chest. It apparently made like a loud cracking sound.
Oh, jeez. Was it on purpose? Could it have been like a intentional thing?
Who knows?
Final day?
I mean, it sounds like Darwin had no shot in general.
Yeah.
He was just
Wild Bill.
So Founts wins the first 3 holes and sticks it on the 4th, which is like the American Redan, first American Redan.
Yeah.
And Darwin wrote about this match, and he said he was at this point in a state of semi-collapse. So, but he was saved by a cameraman. Now keep this in mind when you
photographer.
Think about the way that Patrick Reed reacts to cameramen, and think about how Bernard Darwin, man of the media, reacts. The man with the camera began to make a whir at me. This seemed the last straw, and yet it saved me. I tried to blot him and his noises out of my mind. I could not think of any more new styles, but merely of the ball, and so by the grace of heaven I hit it and put it on the green. I have that hole in 3 and stopped the route. The route. I think it's the route.
Route. Definitely route.
So Darwin wins the 5th, and then he stymied Founds on the 6th. So the stymie was still in play. So
how is that not in the modern day Walker Cup, modern day Ryder, all these things?
A strategic stymie. So he was gonna lose the hole, but he stymied him.
That's amazing.
Like, he didn't try and make the putt; he stymied him. It's an amazing rule for match. I think match play needs to bring the stymie back.
Gotta come back. Yes.
So he stymies him, and it's like you're never out of the hole because you could stymie somebody. Founds tried to play around it and knocked Darwin's ball into the hole.
Oh, shh.
Lost the hole. So
the whole match, got it right.
So now he's 1 down, and Darwin wins the next 3 holes to go 2 up. I mean, Founds was like, I guess, just mentally out of it.
Totally, yeah.
And they don't know. They don't know that the matches are going to be over. You know, this is early in this match.
Yeah.
So he ends up winning the match, and it's like one of the greatest upsets in amateur golf. And the match, marked the emergence. So the win for the Walker Cup for the U.S. marked the emergence of the USGA as a co-equal of the R&A. And one might say now the USGA is probably the more dominant organization. No offense, Marty Sleeps.
I don't know that that's clear cut, but yeah, I think they probably have more of their thumb on the scale when it comes to whether a new rule becomes a rule and things like that.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. And it's just so much of the game is based in industry is America. So, so to this day, the matches are like the big thing about the matches are they're like kind of the meeting of the minds between the two organizations.
Yeah.
So, the matches go on, but behind the scenes are far more important things taking place. That's a quote from historian Gordon Saymans. And that's kind of how the Walker Cup started.